Hey guys, what is up? It is Orange Glazer here, and today we're talking about how Valve can actually revive TF2. Now, this video is going to be kind of like a list of what I think is going to happen, or what I think Valve should do to revive TF2. So that means fixes, updates, just a lot of stuff that I feel like would benefit the game and bring in new players, old players, and anybody who just loves a cartoony first-person shooter. Now recently in TF2 they've been releasing a lot of updates to basically silence cheaters, and I feel like there's just a few more options that are missing for YouTubers or Twitch streamers, and it's similar to what CSGO has, but there's an option in CSGO where you can actually replace names and icons in-game with fake names. So if you're killing someone with a vulgar word in their name, in current day TF2 you cannot actually hide that. Even after clicking to disable text and voice chat, there's still things like those that slip away, and video editors always have to blur in post. Profile pictures are another thing that are not as common, but I feel like it's just a small addition that maybe it wouldn't be too hard to implement, but you know, with TF2 code, I don't really know, because apparently TF2 code is just source spaghetti, but if they can at least implement those two features, I feel like you would have a lot more TF2 creators and Twitch streamers. Next up on what they should do to TF2, they should fix the bot problem by updating the VAC system. Now, cheating in TF2 has been a problem for the longest time. People have been using LMAO box, and those are like ancient cheats we haven't heard of in a long time. But now the main problem is that there's literally bots that cheat, not even real players. So with how often we see these cheaters in game and how often they're getting kicked, there should be a system to try and find a pattern between all these cheaters getting kicked. And with that information, I feel like they could implement that into the TF2 VAC system. And with that, the cheaters will be banned and everything will be good, and that leads me onto my next subject. Relaunch a competitive update. Without bots that are cheating in the game, you'll basically get rid of 90% of your cheater problems. Meet Your Match was basically a half-released update that was missing a lot in terms of what the community wanted, and just overall the release of the update itself. First off, what they want to make sure they do is actually have money put into the servers for competitive matchmaking, because we don't want to wait more than 10 minutes to get into a competitive match. Second, we need incentives to play in the game. So what I feel like they should do is give an incentive to play competitive. Now, along with the failure of Meet Your Match, I feel like TF2 skins were not well received from part of the community. And I feel like this would be a good area to implement custom weapon skins, so they can give you a war paint for like whatever rank you reach. Now in the TF2 ranking system, yes, there is a ranking system for competitive. They have Mercenary, Contract Killer, Executioner, Assassin, and Death Merchant. They should at least have a war paint or a cosmetic, a medal at least, to show off that, you know, that is your rank. It would be cool to have a medal showing what rank you are so you can wear it proudly in game, and it really gives like something to show off for playing competitive. Now, some of you may be wondering why I would say why not do the heavy update first? Well, the reason why is because if you were to release the heavy update today, the game is still absolutely filled with bots, these cheaters. And players would not be able to enjoy the update because of all these bots. So clearly the bot issue is something they would have to address first, and I think that's what they're doing right now in TF2. Now that Half-Life Alyx is finally released, and for those of you who don't know, part of the Team Fortress 2 team actually worked on the Half-Life Alyx project. Now that they're coming back to the TF2 scene, they can finally address all these problems that they haven't had the time to work on. And I think that's what we're seeing right now with all these patches for cheaters. I believe that Valve are going in the right direction so far. Now, like I was saying, the heavy update. Learning from the Pyro update, I feel like the heavy update should actually have items that are good and fun to play for heavy. because the Pyro update, I feel like the weapons were kind of garbage, in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take, but that's what I think. Heavy could use a lot more variety in his primary weapons, and maybe just a new weapon, like a subclass of some sort. And there's a lot of good minigun models on the workshop that can be used. There's a lot of cosmetics for Heavy on the workshop that can be used. And what I think what they should add the most to the game is more community maps. There's a lot of maps on the Steam Workshop that can be used right now, and just to give you an example of one of my favorite community maps is Koth Harvest. This was made by Shanheyo Cutino, and it's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite map in the game right now. If I ever play casual, this is usually what I'll queue up for, and if you want to try and find me, well, that's probably where I'll be. But yeah, that's how I think Valve can revive TF2, just with those updates against the bots, fixing comp, and releasing a Heavy update. I feel like they could easily revive, and they can bring a whole generation of new TF2 players who enjoy the game. Maybe even some content creators, maybe some streamers. Overall, it would just be very beneficial for the game. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you liked the video, click like. If you want to see more of this content, subscribe because I'm going to keep making more of it. And that's that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.